hello.
Hey, Doug.
Ooh, well, hey, Patrick.
How are you?
I promise that's not my phone, baby. Okay, I think we nipped that in the bud. You still hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Jared, you good?
We're ready.
Okay. All right. Well, we would like to welcome Patrick Reed to the virtual press room here at the Memorial Tournament presented by Nationwide. Patrick, thanks for joining us again. Just you're making your sixth start here at the Memorial. Haven't missed a cut. Couple top 10 finishes, including here last year. Just some thoughts on being back to an event where you have had some good success in the past.
You know, it's awesome to be back, and especially when we were here last year and hearing about the changes and knowing how much of a change the entire golf course was going to take. It was exciting to come back and see how those changes were. And, you know, the golf course today, obviously, because it was, wet, cold, and kind of a little bit, a little misty out there all day, it played long. It definitely showed its teeth, showed its length, and it's a golf course that's going to take a lot of patience and some good ball striking and, get that flat stick working, because you're going to have a lot of those 3-4 footers for par.
I haven't been out to actually see any of the changes, but I've heard they're pretty dramatic. And an interesting question earlier was, does it level the playing field away? You get a guy like John Rahm who's only played here twice, and a guy like Matt Kuchar who's been here 15 times. Did the changes somewhat level the playing field? Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's hard to say. The golf course is definitely significantly different, but a lot of the changes are a little bit of length here or there, or some green complexes changing. So it's one of these golf courses I feel comfortable with, and I feel like the lines off the tees for me haven't really changed very much. It's more of the second shot coming in and where you want to leave the golf ball. But for the most part, even though like 15 being such a dramatic change on the visual off the tee, I actually still have the same exact target that I did last year and the previous years, because the actual shape of the hole off the fairway hasn't changed, so I'm still playing to the same spot. So the good thing is I feel comfortable on things like that, and now it's just kind of get used to how I'm attacking each hole, and with different clubs and different green complexes, where is the best spot for me to leave myself.
Okay, all right, good answer. Well, with that, we'll take a few questions, and just a reminder to those in the chat, if you would type your name, I'll give you a call, and we'll start with Alex Maselli. Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, Patrick, a couple questions. First, just looking at your hat, do you use that stuff?
Excuse me, sorry, I didn't.
Do you use the stuff, the CBD stuff?
I do, and it's amazing. CBD, they've really helped out on just kind of aches and pains and kind of dealing with the highs and lows of golf. I mean, golf's a stressful game, but life is also stressful, in the time and world we're living in these days. And any way that you can naturally help yourself and better yourself is something that I feel like is important and needs to help everybody.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you, there were some comments made by Tom Watson, I guess, in Europe about American players versus European players in a Ryder Cup format, and suggesting that American players don't get along as well. They don't have each other's backs maybe as well as Europeans do. You've been paired with, most of the time when you played Ryder Cup, you've been paired with Jordan Spieth. But does it really matter if you have a good relationship with the player you're paired with, or don't have a good relationship with that player?
I think the biggest thing is it's not as much of if you have a good relationship with the player or not, more if you respect the player. If you have respect for the guy and his strengths and his weaknesses, you try to find ways that not only are you helping your teammate, but helping your team out by pairing the guys up with people that can bounce off of each other and pick each other up. I feel like the biggest thing in Ryder Cups is more about who can, what teams you can put out there that not only help, each other play, but also as the whole team to take away any weaknesses. So then you're putting out strong teams that can pick each other up. Because the biggest thing is it's not as much of, going out and playing with your buddies as much as going out there and doing a job and trying to win, win points and win the cup. And the best way to do that is by making sure you put guys together that can really go out and kind of dominate golf courses and pick up each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay, we go now to Steve DeMeglio with USA Today.
Where's your game at right now?
What's that, Steve?
Where's your game at right now?
Game feels good. You know, I've been bouncing back and forth between two drivers and went out and actually played the front nine today with my old ping that I won in 2018 with at Augusta, and then I, played the last nine with my Titleist, and I feel like I had full control over both drivers as well as had control over my iron shots, and I think that's the biggest thing. What I've seen this week and what I've seen is the golf course has obviously gotten longer. It's softer because of the weather, but the rough is just brutal. I mean, it's so thick and nasty that you have to play out of short grass, and I feel like I've been swinging really well. I feel like the game's going where it's supposed to be heading and trending towards, and really when that's going on, it just gives me more confidence, and I feel like I'm able to plot myself around places and really give myself a chance to win a golf tournament.
And I know you won earlier this year at Torrey Pines, but in 2 weeks it's going to be a completely different golf course. So do you take good vibes from what happened earlier this year with you, or is it a completely different setup, change your approach?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely take good vibes from it, and really the only difference I feel like there is they have 2 extra tee boxes that they have. It's a tee box. I think they have a longer one on 11, and then the one on 15 that is a bear. I mean, which really at the end of the day, really for me at the end of the day, it's go out there and it's Torrey Pines. You have to hit the fairway. You have to hit greens. You got to make putts. And anytime you play in the U.S. Open, you know how penalizing the rough's going to be. So you got to have full control of your golf ball. And when I won back there earlier this year, it was the same thing. You hit in the rough, and you're going to pay the penalty for it. So you have to go and hit fairways and have to attack the golf course. And I feel like if I do that, then I feel like it would be a good test.
So it sounds like this week's course is a perfect setup for Torrey?
Oh, for sure. I haven't seen rough like this in really ever. My first practice round I just played the front nine on Monday, and I missed the fairway by maybe a yard on hole 6 to the right, and Kessler and I spent at least 5 to 7 minutes searching. We couldn't find the golf ball. And it is that brutal, that thick, that nasty, and it was I felt bad for the AMs today. When they got in the rough, they just kind of looked down, and the first reaction was to look at me and ask, what do I do? And I'm like, guys, I mean, it's a hack out. It's take a wedge, hit it sideways for them, and really, I've hit a couple shots out of the rough, this week. You can get yourself an okay lie if it gets kind of in a little area down green that you might be able to advance it to the green. But a lot of times it's just sit there and look at where you want to play your third shot from, try to get up and down.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we go now to Bill Rabinowitz with the Columbus Dispatch. Bill, go ahead.
Hi, Patrick. This is
Well,
the
how
once
are
in
you?
17 years where you good. How are you?
Good.
This is the once in 17 years where the cicadas are out. How bad are they now? What are the players talking about that a lot?
Yeah, that got brought up today when I was on the 7th. We're back there on that tee, and they were rocking. It was really loud, and they were going, but they're fine because it's just the kind of that steady kind of noise. So it almost feels like just white noise, and so it's not that bad. But it definitely makes it more lively out there. You definitely hear them, and yesterday I wore white pants, and there's 2 or 3 of them that kind of came and latched onto the white pants at one point. I'm sitting there, first off, I didn't know in the very beginning, and I kind of looked down, I'm like, what is this that's on my leg? And so, no, I mean, it actually kind of drowns out some of the noise from golf carts and from people walking from a distance that you don't hear. And so if anything, it's actually helping, so bring them on.
Supposedly, as the weather gets warmer, they get louder. So it was cool
Well,
today.
I was about to say, it was cold today, so I can only imagine if it gets to 85 or 80, 8 in the 80s.
Exactly. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, well, Patrick, just one last question. I know we're kind of increasing numbers week in, week out. How exciting is it for you guys to see more and more fans back out for you guys to kind of get your game back to what you're used to as part of the fan experience, being a part of it.
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing to have the fans back, especially seeing more and more people coming out. And I think the biggest thing for me is not only seeing how many fans are coming out, but how many kids are coming out. There's so many kids that are now coming out on the road, and you're seeing a lot of the guys out there, and to see them getting excited to come out and watch us play again is awesome. And you know, it's now nice that when you hit a good golf shot, they're out there cheering and clapping, rather than, you know, during COVID, we were fortunate enough to still be able to play, but without the fans there, it just seemed to, that energy wasn't there. You know, you'd hit a quality golf shot and you wouldn't hear anything. And so to have them back and have the energy back, it's awesome. I can't wait to get to full strength, but you know, the more and more people that come out, the better it is.
Did you have a decent roar last week when you hold out?
I did. You know, it was nice. Even that, the great thing is, I feel like the fans are now excited that they're able to come back out, and a day like today, where how nasty the weather was, it was cold, kind of dreary, you know, rainy, and being a pro-am, you just wouldn't expect that many people to come out and support, especially on a non-tournament day. And
Right.
when I'm teeing off and I'm the last tee time in the morning, and to have as many people have been out there while it's raining, it's awesome to see. And you know they're getting excited about it, and the more the fans get excited about it, the more the players get excited.
That's great. Well, that's a great answer. Well, that's all we got. We appreciate your time as always. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.